Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you subscribe. But today we are going to be talking about the big drama between these five, the Foursome versus Jeffree Star, and how it all went down after the Shane Dawson documentary.
You want me to spill the real tea right now? You want me to keep it really real?
Alright, and we're going to start off with Gabriel Zamora. After the series came out with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, everything blew up. Gabriel Zamora ran to Twitter to tweet how he really felt about Jeffree Star. But this caused a huge stir on the beauty community and on Twitter. After Gabriel Zamora released his comment, his fans started to go in. Imagine bashing someone for racism after 10 years and them explaining the situation and profusely apologizing, then coming out as a broken individual who was also attacked for his own sexuality. Then Gabriel Zamora went on to go on a huge Twitter rant about how he felt about Jeffree. If you want to read these, please pause them and read everything, but I'm just going to give you the gist of everything he said. Basically, we're just saying that he basically had no receipts on Jeffree Star ever being racist because every time that he was being racist, there was no cameras, no phones, no nothing, and that he was still racist and he was just uncomfortable being around them. And for me, I was reading all these tweets and I was wondering, if you felt uncomfortable in the situation, what made you continue to stay in the situation? If I'm uncomfortable, I get out. I don't sit there and say, oh well, maybe it's not something I'm really uncomfortable about. Maybe I don't actually understand racism. So it was just didn't add up to me. Then he goes on to say that the Shane Dawson series basically pictured Jeffree Star how he wanted to see Jeffree Star and how he saw Jeffree Star in the beginning, but it was all false and all smoke and mirrors basically. And then he also goes to say that he never used him and he never got anything from him. But even in my previous video, I typed Jeffree Star in his search engine, and even in some of his more recent videos, he still uses the hashtag Jeffree Star to get views. So you didn't use him directly by getting money or that, but you did get followers from him indirectly, and you're still using his hashtag because you know that his name gets views and you just want the clout. But then this is what Gabriel Zamora did not expect. He did not expect that people would go back on his past Twitter and look for some dirt. They found a tweet with him saying the N-word, and that is where it all lit up. Because he was being so hypocritical on Jeffree Star, on his racist past, and saying how he's done this and he's done that, but he didn't expect that his fans would go back and see what he did. How did that make you better than Jeffree Star if what he did was 12 years ago and yours was 6 years ago? But he did release a apology on Twitter, which was alright, but I just think Jeffree Star did a public apology on video and you just tweeted out an apology that seems like a PR stunt. And there's a lot more PR stunts to come because we're only at the beginning. After releasing his apology, then another tweet went out with screenshots from the actual Instagram post that was posted with an updated caption. But the person he talked to said, "You serious about the N-word?" And Gabriel just gives a face. He said, "Fix it or I'll tag a lot of black people." And Gabriel's response, "Do it. Maybe it'll make it on the popular page." So this just shows how insensitive he is in general, and just because he was smaller and not as well known, he thought he could get away with something like this because he doesn't have a huge light on his side. But let's go back to the apology. The only reason I feel like his apology is so invalid and it's such a PR stunt is because he says that he didn't know the N-word was bad because he used it in a song, but literally that tweet was 6 years ago. There is racism 6 years ago. You couldn't be anywhere in the United States 6 years ago and say that you don't know what racism is, especially since he is a person of color. You cannot say that he's never experienced racism and saying that the N-word, he didn't know that that was a bad word. That is a common thing that people on the internet say, that the N-word, that they didn't know it was a bad word, so they were using it, and then when they get called out for it, they're upset because no one in their actual life is gonna call them out for it. But when you get called out for it on the internet, you want to cry wolf and say that you didn't know, but you did know. But if one apology is not enough, there is always room for a second. He did a second apology after being dragged through the mud for the Instagram post because he thinks that he can get away with it. Everyone always assumes that they can get away with these things until it is brought up. So he issued a second apology, and I think this second apology really came up because a lot of people were tagging NARS and Ipsy, telling them that why would they support racist on their team, and a second apology was issued, and he actually mentioned that none of his friends were involved. It was all his doing. But that wasn't it. Laura Lee was soon to be dragged in the drama, and we pulled up some of her dark, dark tweets from 2012. And this just says, tip for all the black people, if you pull up your pants, you can run faster from the police. You're welcome. And this is really bad because, one, you're already attacking black people, and then on top of that, this was going on during the Trayvon Martin time. So, horrible timing, Laura. You look really racist. And this prompted Laura a lot of outraged fans, and then she ended up deactivating her entire Twitter.
Ooh, I love karma.
Then Jeffree rushed to Twitter to say, there's nothing more I dislike on the planet than a hypocrite. Then we go all the way down into the fans. They said, why is Laura's Lee account deleted? Jeffree Star responds, because instead of addressing her past mistakes and apologizing for them, she chooses to hide. Can't relate. So you can definitely see that Jeffree is having a field day with all this information. His past friends are finally getting the karma they deserve for allegedly using him, and the fact that they tried to make him look like the bad guy, and all of their past is coming back up, just how they try to bring up his past. Alright, and then Laura Lee returns to Twitter. The first thing that she posts is this lengthy iPhone notes apology, and for me personally, I think it is another PR stunt. This is the second PR stunt apology that we have in the works. And one reason I think this is a PR stunt, and remember, if you want to read these, please pause. I'm just going to give my opinion, but I think this was a PR stunt because she blames Alabama, like she doesn't do a video, and I just think it's really just doesn't make sense to me at all. But she does blame Alabama for why she has these thoughts, views, and opinions, and which I think is just so low and so dumb because at her age 6 years ago, like, you know what racism is. And I know so many people that live in Alabama that are not racist, so you can't blame your racism on an entire state. I just think this was a weak response that she wanted to get out just so everyone would get off her back and try to forget about her racist past. But we cannot forget something when you won't even let us forget about Jeffree's past. Anything that is in the dark does come to the light.
Hi, Dragons. I'm finally back home. I mean, it was a very, very long day of traveling yesterday from Amsterdam all the way to LA, and I'm just finally back home. And honestly, there's no place I'd rather be, and I'm just so happy to be home right now. Ooh, girl, but even with all that traveling, with them losing my bag on the way back here, and the jet lag, and everything else, there's still some things I gotta say. I just wanted to say that I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago, 6 years ago. I mean, even at that time, I was, like 15 as a boy in Virginia. And I know I have said some very insensitive things, especially when I was younger. I take full responsibility, but I know I'm constantly changing as a person and evolving. I've literally changed from that 15-year-old boy in middle school, trying desperately to fit in and trying desperately to find who I was as a person. I mean, I've changed physically. I mean, girl, I have a whole new motherfucking face than I did. I've changed emotionally as a person, and my whole being is changed after transitioning into female and going through this whole process these past 3 years. I mean, it's just like, I am not the same person. Even with all these fake tweets and accusations and whatever else, I just wanted to say that I know who I am as a person at the end of the day, and I just wanted to express my absolute love and gratitude to my dragons, to anyone who supports me, to my followers, because without you guys, I would never have gotten to this point, and I would have never found the courage to really become who I truly am. And I just wanted to say I love you guys so much, and that's all.
But unfortunately for Nikita's fans, they did not enjoy that, which led her to issue out a more formal PR stunt apology, which she released on Twitter. I apologize and feel disappointed in myself. I know I'm better than those old tweets from when I was 15. I hope you can see I am literally a changed person, growing and changing every day to a good role model for my loving followers. For me, she just released this PR apology because they're just trying to save themselves. They're trying to gain the trust of their fans all over again because everything that they didn't want to come up is coming back up. And obviously, things that happened in the past are our past. We all have past. We've all said things. But when you are addressed with them, you should be quick and ready to apologize. And her first apology, which was on the Snapchat video, really wasn't an apology. It was an apology, and then she like covered it with a butt saying because she was young. Don't say because you're young. We were all young. We all did crazy stuff. Just apologize for all the people that you offended and move on. And then we finally got a response from Manny anyway. He finally goes in and lets us know why he liked the picture, all about the picture, and all the details after Gabriel Zamora had released his second apology. It's crazy that you even have to release two apologies just to get your point across. But yeah, so Gabriel Zamora releases his apology, and then anyway says that they just were reacting to Kylie Jenner picture and it had nothing to do with Jeffree, and he liked the picture because he just generated the caption. But I don't believe that part. Who likes pictures and doesn't read a caption? If you're running around like you say, why are you even on Twitter? You should be too busy to be on Twitter, but I guess you're not too busy to be on Twitter. I don't know. But that's just how I feel like that's also another lie that they're just doing just to save themselves. And just be honest. You saw it, you were part of it, whatever is the truth. Alright, and then the last bit of information just begins to fall in. Gabriel Zamora apologized to Jeffree Star in a very weird way. I don't even know if it's a true apology, more like shade to Manny MUA, but he let out a public apology to Jeffree Star, and this is where things just continue to go down. We, at this point, all of the foursome have lost followers, lost subscribers, are losing views. They've all deleted so many tweets. I'm not saying that all the tweets are derogatory tweets, but the amount of tweets that they have deleted altogether, they are clearly trying to hide their past to get rid of it. They don't want you to find any other bad tweet that they have just so you can put it on them. So that's kind of suspicious, but to each their own. If you want to forget about the past, let's forget about the past, but do not bring up somebody else's past if you don't want to talk about your own. And the relationship between the foursome is beginning to crumble. Gabriel Zamora has unfollowed Manny MUA on Instagram, and this is just the beginning. He still follows Lorelai and he still follows Nikita Dragon, but how much longer will they stick together? It seems like over this whole drama, everyone is breaking apart because really nobody really had Gabriel Zamora's back when he made that initial post. Everyone seemed that they didn't know about it, even though most of them were on the same brand trip together. But who knows? Maybe they didn't know, and he just posted out of spite. But either way, that is all I have for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to continue on part 2 of the full story, because I'm sure that this is not the end. There's so much going on with this drama, and I am here to report it. And if you like me to keep talking, or you want me to just do my regular talking videos, I know I'm new to this game, but if you want me to talk more and just actually direct you, I'm super down. But if you want me to just give you all the information in silence, in like the meme style, I'll do that too. Alright guys, I will see you in the next one.